You remember ever putting your hands on his neck?
It might have been like up towards his neck a little bit, but I was trying to like put my hands on his chest, but he was wrapping his legs around me and whatnot, so.
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back. Thank you. Suspect just took off running from us.
Welcome back, viewers. Dave Epstein here for the Post-Pollock firm. Here to watch a video where the case method, the case approach, is prevalent in some respects. It's a video called When Gen Z Tries Outsmarting the Police. That drew me right in, but you tell me what you think of the video.
Hi, what's your name?
Nick.
What is it? Nick. What happened?
I was basically arguing over him. I was trying to figure out like what happened to my items that were in my room. I don't have a lock on my door or anything, and I know that a bunch of my items from my room was missing. So I went down there to confront him about it, and he basically came up to me, started shoving me, saying, "Get out of my room," this, that, the other thing. I said, "Don't put your hands on me, don't touch me. I'm just trying to figure out where my stuff is." And then he said, "Get the f*** out of my room, otherwise I'm gonna hurt you." And then I was like, "Why are you being aggressive towards me?" And he said, "I don't care," and he started shoving me, and then that's when I shoved him back, and then it just downfalled from there.
Okay.
And then he started calling the cops, and that's why you guys are
Do you
here.
have any marks on you?
I mean, not really. I mean, I'm pretty
No
big.
marks anywhere?
I'm pretty big, so.
And you say he hit you first?
Yeah, he stood up and he started shoving me like out of the
And you were
room.
in his room and you didn't want to leave his room?
I was trying to figure out where my stuff was before I even like exit the premises, so that I could at least have like somewhat of an idea. And I was just, at first I calmly asked him like, "Hey, do you know where my stuff is?" As soon as I asked him that, aggression. He was like, "No, get the f*** out of here, X, Y, and Z, I don't give a sh**." And I was like, "Can you please just help me out by finding the stuff?" And he started shoving me on, and I was like, please stop, stop touching me, stop. And I was like, "Touch me again, and we're gonna have a problem." Like, I don't want to, but that's when like we started wrestling and whatnot and grappling, and then eventually he was like holding me, and that's when I was trying to like get him off of me, because he was like,
When you go like this, where were your hands when you did
like
this?
like around,
Around.
yeah, I was like trying to shove him off of me,
What part of his body were you touching when you were doing this?
like around here, yeah.
Okay. All right. You remember ever putting your hands on his neck?
It might have been like up towards his neck a little bit, but I was trying to like put my hands on his chest, but he was wrapping his legs around me and whatnot, so.
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back. Thank you. Suspect just took off running from us. Stop!
Okay, folks, we got a lot of stuff going on here. First of all, there is the question of whether this guy should have said anything. The ass shut up. He knew the police were there to question him. He obviously knew what it was about. We don't know yet exactly what happened, but he starts in with this yapping. And I don't know who the woman next to him was, whether that was his mother or whatever. If my kid, I would have told him, "Shut up, we'll talk to a lawyer. He's not going to answer any questions." And if he's a juvenile, you're allowed to do that. I don't know whose room he was in, whether it's in his house, what happened, but somebody called the police. He then goes into a detailed description. He didn't have to go into any description. If it was self-defense, you can raise that later. Shut up. What does he do? Yaps on and on. Well, he was wrestling. He kept saying, "Get the F out." Then it's aggression. All I want to do is get my stuff. And he's saying, "Get the F out." What I hear is somebody who refused to leave this guy's room. Maybe they did try to push him out of it, and then he started to choke them. Or he shows the police officer, "I'm a big guy," and he puts his hand out. I put my hands around, and then he stops himself. And he said, like here, he's pointing to the chest, and the officer said, "Did you have your hands around his neck?" "Well, they might have slipped there." He's just basically confessed to trying to choke somebody. Whether it was in self-defense, who knows? But he's just given them enough I assume based on what they already know, to bust him. Now, I'm sure his attorneys are going to say and try to suppress this, what he's saying, because they obviously knew something and they came and questioned him, and he was clearly a suspect. Whether he's in custody or not, this always gets into a debate. Probably not required to Mirandize him yet, but let me tell you something. When the police come up and you just launch into War and Peace and start yapping away, the line blurs as to when you need to be Mirandized, but just assume you should Mirandize yourselves. You remember the A? Awareness of your rights. You are not required to say anything. Give them your credentials, any necessary information. If you have to submit to DNA tests or anything like that, okay. If it's a drinking situation, maybe a breath test, you don't have to say anything. Next step, keep your cool. What does this yo-yo do? He takes off as they're trying to cuff him. Now he's got a resisting arrest charge on top of what sounds like it's going to be an assault charge. What do you need that for? Now you've got multiple crimes, and they're not major crimes, but listen, you don't want those on your record. You could do some jail for that. Let's see the rest of this. Or some of it.
We back. 34, where are you at?
Take it right down Cumberland.
You lose sight of him?
Yeah, the fence.
Back from 35 charges. They're going to be domestic battery, possibly ag domestic battery. Suspect's like 5'8", probably 130 pounds, 140 pounds, wearing a navy blue Plainfield South athletic t-shirt and a pair of black shorts.
30 pounds, 140 pounds, wearing a navy blue Plainfield.
I thought he said he was big. That doesn't sound so big. What happened there, folks? Well, he's obviously, look, good for him. He's got his own very impressed self-image, and let him live that.
South athletic t-shirt and pair of black shorts.
35, he's going back to the house.
10-4. Stop! Just stop! This isn't gonna get better! Stop! In the backyard, Juliet.
In the backyard.
Where is he? I don't know. He's in the backyard. He just ran back here.
We check the backyard.
Yes. You stay away. I don't want him to hurt you.
Okay, yeah, of course. I'll take that out the board. You got it unlocked. There you go.
Don't let him in this house.
No.
Right here, officer. What are you doing?
I told him not to run.
Stop. Put your hands behind your back.
Come on, Nick. I told you not to run. You just made it worse on yourself.
Very much so.
Go for it. Cell 926.
You just made it worse on yourself.
Now you have more charges.
He has more charges. Correct. By the way, he doesn't look 5'8". I don't know. I don't know how short everybody is or tall everybody is. He looks more than 5'8". Anyway, there have been instances where police officers, and let's just say these officers don't look like they're the best shape in the world. Not to knock it. I know they work hard. So here are these officers running around chasing people. There have been instances where people, for example, police officers have a cardiac episode, maybe even die. Do you know you can be held responsible for that if you are causing a police chase? You can be held criminally responsible for causing death while fleeing arrest. It's a little harder to prosecute, but it would be prosecuted, and you get a very sympathetic jury or judge on that. So here this idiot just took off. I've said in other videos, even recently, what do you think you're going to gain by trying to sprint away from the police. There are other police out there. They've got radios. If need be, they can get up in a helicopter. Now, as far as the police go, this was a proper chase. I mean, they need to pursue a suspect. He obviously was wanted for domestic violence. So now I'm putting the pieces together. You are probably. And he must have tried to choke somebody in his household, and they called the police. He's just added to the charges exponentially. Just stupid. And you're not going to get away. They know who he is. What is he going to take off to Brazil? I mean, there's nowhere to go. People panic. He's a young guy, but just keep it even-tempered. Don't lose your you-know-what. Keep even-tempered and wait. You'll get a lawyer. You'll solve it.
I'm going to finish my paperwork. I want you to sit with the Alvarado in the car, okay?
Okay. I'm sorry.
Stand right here. Don't move.
Yes, ma'am.
Spread your feet. No, get up.
Hey,
Spread your feet.
spread your feet out. I have nicotine on me and my phone. That's it.
We shouldn't have run.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I was in the heat of the moment.
You thought running would help?
Dude, I don't want to go to jail. You tell me.
Well, now you're going to jail for more.
Yeah.
This was a simple domestic battery. Now you've turned it into resisting, fleeing.
You got your camera?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Let me turn the back one on.
Yeah, go on.
I'm going to have him sit in the car while I finish paperwork because I don't want him taking off again on us.
No, he's 17. Or wait, how old are you, buddy? No, he's 20. Yeah. Hey, don't do that.
You. Him shoving me first doesn't matter, right?
You would have had your day in court, man. You still are gonna have your day in court. This isn't the end all be all.
I don't want there to be any court. I just wanted my shit out of my room, man. Like, it's in my room for a reason. Why do I have to sit here and wake up every morning wondering, oh, is this going to be in my possession? Oh, is my shit still here? Are my clothes still on my hand? Nobody should have to wake up like that. I'm thankful to God that I have a roof over my head and I have parents that love me. Because if I didn't have that, I wouldn't have shit, man. All I want to do is finish high school and finish my community service, man.
What do you gotta do community service for?
Freaking speeding. And I was speeding for the reason to get him to school, get his education. And mine. What type of family calls the cops on family? Family figures family issues out through the family, not through the police. I'm gonna headbutt something, I swear to God, dude.
No, man. Like I said, man, you do stuff like that, you're just gonna make it worse.
He's... Family. Did I just see what I just saw? Family should figure out or solve things with family. I'm going to headbutt somebody. Come on. I mean, again, shut up. He's a kid. I don't know. He says he wants to finish high school. If he's 18, he's an adult. And I got to tell you something. If he continues with this, a domestic violence case, if you're not familiar with it, this is the way it works. Domestic violence is where somebody commits a criminal act that is associated with domestic violence, where you're placing people who are in an immediate family relationship, a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship, husband and wife. There has to be a relationship, and you have to place them in fear for their safety. There has to be an accompanying criminal act. Assault will do the trick. If you assault somebody in a domestic situation, like in your home with your family, the police get called and you are found to have actually committed an act of assault and domestic violence, then you will be hit with a restraining order. You will also be required to go through all kinds of counseling and therapy, including anger management, etc. And the guy is demonstrating already that that's probably going to go into evidence that the first thing he says about his family calling the police on him is he's going to headbutt somebody. Not the right thing to say. Remember the S, shut up. So let's see what else happens with this guy.
Right now, it's not the end of the world.
Might as well be till my f***ing life is over.
No, it's domestic battery. It's a misdemeanor.
I'm gonna be in jail for domestic battery when this could have been resolved with him just giving me my
Remember I told you you're going to have your day in court, right? Just because you're in cops and you're in a squad car doesn't mean it's the end all be all. You're going to go see a judge. You're going to tell him your side of the story, right?
Yep.
This suspect was charged with aggravated domestic battery and resisting obstructing a peace officer. He is innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law.
Well, you saw it, folks. You saw what he got charged with. It was domestic battery. I am assuming that he is an adult. He's 18. Because generally what happens when you're underage and you commit a crime, I know in New Jersey, you just generally get charged with juvenile delinquency. They have to go out of their way. They have to move you to adult court and try you as an adult. For something like that, they're not going to try a kid as an adult. But if he is an adult, then yeah, that's what they do. You don't go to juvie anymore. And yeah, juvenile, you can still end up in a juvenile jail, which is no fun, and it's pretty serious. But here you have, you get one of these restraining orders entered against you. They don't just disappear. And it's very hard. You can't get that expunged. I know in New Jersey, you cannot expunge that. You can expunge a criminal record. If he gets convicted of the assault, I guess it was of his brother, he can expunge that. You cannot expunge the existence or the issuance of a final restraining order. The way it works is, again, in New Jersey, and I think most states have a similar procedure, there is a temporary restraining order. That's where somebody goes and swears out before a judge an act of violence, an act of harassment, stalking, assault, whatever, one of the acts, the predicate acts for a domestic violence case occurred, that you're in fear for your safety. You explain the family relationship or how it is considered a domestic relationship. The court then issues what's known as a temporary restraining order, and you will get that along with the complaint, and that means you can't go within, say, 1,000 feet of whoever is named in the order. Sometimes it's the whole family. If you're a parent, you won't even be able to go near your kids most of the time if your spouse is there. And that lasts until you have a hearing. Usually it's a fast period. In New Jersey, they have to occur quickly and, within days. I forget what the number is now. It's 10 or 20. I might be up to 30, but it might be even shorter. But there is a number of days, and then you have an FRO here, a final restraining order hearing, and that's where they decide whether or not you have the final restraining order entered. And that is out there for a long time, until the person who it is intended to protect maybe asks that it be dissolved, or a passage of time, you may be able to get it erased, but it's out there. And even if you do, it doesn't come off your criminal record. In other words, that NCIS search that they do when they arrest you, when they bring you in, they run them on the computer. Any prior convictions, any outstanding warrants, any arrests, any pending cases should be on there. They will show up. So will a final restraining order in most cases. So you're going to have that on your record. Again, this sounds like a kid who, he says, I don't want anybody taking my stuff. He's got some beefs with his brother. He's got to learn to control himself. I don't know whether the parents called the police too soon, whether they didn't. It sounds to me like this kid's got a problem. When he's talking about butting somebody in the head over calling the police, it's what it sounded like to me. He's got a problem, and he should deal with it. And generally speaking, in a domestic violence case, you have to go seek counseling. You got to take an anger management class. You have to get a clean bill of mental anger management, violence, health before you're going to get near anywhere, any of your family. These laws are there to protect them. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you learned something. Most of all, don't beat up family members. Don't try to run from the police. Keep your mouth shut. Be aware of your rights, and please just keep your cool. Aside from running from the police, keep your cool with your family. This kid's now got a bunch of charges. We will see you next time, and I would ask that you please hit like and subscribe, and please leave your comments. Love to see them. Love to respond to them. Thank you. Dave Epstein signing off for the Post Pollock firm.